Hi, Helen. So we have 2 minutes before we start. Hope the others will join in quickly. Hello, Alina. Nice to see you here. Waiting for the others. Hello, Nastyush. So today there will be less students because the others are having the lesson with Elena Igorevna. That's why the second group is not with us today. I believe several seconds and we are starting. So it seems to me it's time to start. Hello, boys and girls. I'm glad to see you here. How are you today? Hope you are okay. Hope that the weekend were good and you managed to have some rest. Now we're ready to work. Let's start our lesson. Look at the screen. You're having the picture. Try to guess the topic or the theme of our today's lesson. How do you think? Hello, Vlad. Yarek, I'm sorry. How do you think? What are we going to talk about today? Nice to see it, Aline. Hello, Sash. Guess the topic of our today's class. Guess the topic of our today's discussion. Movies. Yarek, you are right. Movies or films. You know that film is a British version and movie is an American version. But the words are synonymic. You may use the word film instead of movie or vice versa. You may use both words. Yeah, films, movies, great. So the topic or the theme of our lesson today is movies. I would like you to go further. Here on the screen, you can see the names of different film genres. Do you see them? They're in the left column. I believe we can do this exercise together. Our task is to match the description or the picture to the genre of the film, to the film genre. Let's do it together. If you're quicker than me, Kira, welcome. So, if you're working together with me, you will write the answers in the chat and I will read them before I put the correct answer myself. So, Indiana Jones is an something. Here are the genres. I see. Superhero film, adventure film, comedy film, adventure film again, and fantasy film. Yarek writes that the first variant is adventure film. What is adventure? The Russian variant of adventure is приключения. So the name of the genre is приключенческий фильм or adventure film. It's when someone comes, shoots, do some performances, some actions, and then he or she is a winner. He or she has got different adventures during the film. So it is an adventure film. Приключенческий фильм. Yep, right, Sash. Thank you for translation. The next, Pirates of the Caribbean is an. How do you think? What is it? Pirates of the Caribbean. Hi, Vladik. The second is adventure as well, believes Alina. Is an adventure film. Because the main character, the protagonist of the story, do you remember his name? In Russian it's Jack Воробей, in English it's Jack the Sparrow. Again, during the plot of the film, he has got different adventures, he has to overcome many obstacles or difficulties, yep. So again, it is an adventure story. The third, Spider-Man. How do you think, what is the genre of the Spider-Man film? Superhero such, yep, it is correct. It is superhero film. You know what superhero is. It's a person, a man or a woman or even a child who is beyond the others, who can do more than the others. He can probably fly or climb the walls or read some people's thoughts or see through the walls. So some has some superpower, has some supernatural abilities. You know that Spider-Man can do what? He can climb the walls, for example. Yep, that is why he's a superhero, and this is a superhero film. Alina writes that The Last Twilight is a fantasy film, and she is absolutely correct. Yep, because a fantasy film is translated into Russian like fantasy. Do you know the difference between fantasy and science fiction, by the way? Fantasy is something that has never happened. It could be, but it has never happened in reality. For example, these are the stories about dragons, elves, mm, vampires, like in the Twilight. We have never seen them in reality, and no one has. But the science fiction is something that can probably happen in the future. For example, the travel to the other planet, the life in the space, the idea how to build the cities in other worlds. So it probably can happen. Значит, разница между фэнтези и научной фантастикой, ребят, еще раз, такова, что I like it as well. Hi, Тём. Еще раз, разница между научной фантастикой и фэнтези такова, что фэнтези – это то, чего не случалось. Это, как правило, история о прошлом. Do you remember the story about Merlin the Magician? No one has ever seen Merlin. Never ever. It is just a figure of the past, but no people saw him in reality. No one saw him. И вот такие истории, когда мы говорим о том, что этого никто никогда не видел, и это только плод человеческого воображения, это фэнтези. Драконы, эльфы, вампиры, оборотни – это фэнтези. Гарри Поттер, Harry Potter is a fantasy film, of course. Narnia, The Chronicles of Narnia is a fantasy film. Такие фильмы – это, естественно, фэнтези. Научная фантастика – science fiction. I will write the name of the genre to the chat. Hi, Eileen. So you can see the name here. It's science fiction. Научная фантастика. Путешествие в иные миры, покорение космоса и перспективе жизнь в космосе. Допустим, фильм, который недавно относительно появился на экранах, «Марсианин», где в условиях, в таких обстоятельствах человек жил на Марсе, выращивал там картошку и так далее. Это научная фантастика. Это то, что в будущем, в перспективе может быть. То есть, основываясь на каких-то более или менее научных фактах, авторы создают такую историю. И от фэнтези оно отличается тем, что одно скорее в прошлом, другое скорее в будущем. То, что одно точно совершенно невероятно, вероятность встретить дракона на улице равна, как вы понимаете, ближе к нулю, чем к какой-то другой цифре. А вот вероятность того, что через несколько лет или десятилетий мы будем жить на других планетах, она есть, она существует, она не равняется нулю. Поэтому научная фантастика – это то, что пока фантастически кажется нам несбыточным, но научно может быть обосновано. So now you know the difference between fantasy and science fiction. Don't mix them up, they're different. Yep, exactly. For example, The Hunger Games. Yep, you're right, Tom. So, Twilight is a fantasy film. Now you know it is correct, and we move on. What other film genres do you know? Please write them in the chat. I would like you to give me some of your ideas. What other names can you write here? So, superhero, fantasy, adventure. You can see comedy film here. What else? If, for example, somebody is coming closer and closer, he follows you and you are very afraid of him. Mystica, says Alina. Well, yep. Detective stories, horror stories, Yarek, you are right. Yep, absolutely. Horror stories, detective. Just one letter is skipped, Vlad. Look here. Detective is written with E ending. Kira, you see that Yarek has already written the variant you have written in Russian. Horror is the same as ужасы. Yep, horror, фильмы ужасов, horror stories. Боевик, do you know its English version? The name of this genre is, in fact, action film. Action film. Such superhero films we have already mentioned. So, detective stories, horror stories or horror films, action films, romantic and melodrama, they are called love stories, in fact. Love stories. Drama, yep, in Russian it's the same as in English, drama, like Titanic, for example. Yep, drama films. I would name the word thriller. It's not that scary as horror stories, but still they are pretty scary. Again, somebody is watching you and you feel his eyes on your back, for example. You feel uneasiness. You don't like this feeling. It's a thriller. Yeah, Настя. Thriller, exactly. Musical films, yep, they are very popular nowadays, musicals. So, a lot of genres. Try to remember all of them. Фантастика, Саш, we have already discussed. They are either fantasy or science fiction. Или фэнтези в чистом виде, или научная фантастика. Right. So, and guys, please try to write in English. It's better. So, there are different genres. We are trying to remember all of them. Short films. Yep. Short films, why not? Короткометражки. Nowadays they are pretty popular. Yep. Немые film. Yeah, they were mute films or films without sound. But today they're not that popular. Thank you. You know a lot of film genres. Try to remember those that are new for you. And we move on. I want you to listen to two musical extracts. There are just two. And we're going to match the extract, the music you have heard, to the name of the film, to the type of the film, or to the film genre. Again, let's read the names of all the film genres. A. Fantasy. You may repeat after me, please. A. Fantasy. A. Action. E. Thriller. Event. Adventure. I. Science. E. Fiction. Science fiction. A. Mate. Animate. Animated film. A. Comedy. E. Hero. U. Super. Superhero. U. Musical. Or horror. There is just one film that you haven't mentioned, that we haven't translated, and that we haven't discussed. What is it? It's letter G, animated film. Do you know what is it? Write your variants in the chat. What is animated film? Sash, no idea. For example, I believe that this last summer, probably, this summer, there was a film about the King Lion. It is an animated film. Ага, мультфильм или анимационный фильм. Lena, Yarek, you are correct. Exactly. No, it's not anime. It's not the idea. Animated film is a cartoon or the film based on a cartoon story. То есть либо это полноценный мультик, либо это фильм анимационный, основанный на мультфильме. Right. Thank you. Two more words you can see here. They are romance and western. One more new word, western. What is it? You know that west, do you remember our proverb? East or west, home is best. We have already discussed it. What is west? East means восток, west means запад. Western, try to remember the image of wild, wild west. What is wild? Дикий. Wild, wild west. These are usually the stories about cowboys. What do? They take their guns or shotguns, shoot, follow somebody, chase somebody, try to catch them. They have fights. No, vice versa, Alina. Восток is east, west is запад. But they're not translated like западные. They're translated like вестерны in Russian. The name is more or less the same. Western. It is usually a story about cowboys. Обычно это история вот про ковбоев, про жизнь дикого запада, Wild Wild West, yep. Боевик is another story, it's action, yep. And Western is the story about life of the West, usually of western part of America, not Russia's West, usually about America's West part. Yep. Дикий Запад, not Восток. Please don't mix them up. East, Восток, West, Запад. Try to remember West, Запад. Дикий Запад. Wild, wild West. Yep, Kira. Now you're right. Correct the mistake, please. And as we now know all the words, you know all the names of the films, I want you to listen to two musical fragments and match them to the name of the genre. For example, the first musical extract is a fantasy. The second is superhero. Do you understand the idea? Not necessary. Ready to listen? Just a second, I will switch on the sound. One, two, three.
5G Skills. Exercise 1B, page 90. 1.
Write your variants in the chat. What is number 1? What genre is it? And we're going to listen to the second part.
2.
Now you have heard all of them. What are your ideas? What is the first film genre? C, you think? The first is thriller, thinks Yarek. The second is superhero. Well, you're close to the idea, but not exactly. Alin, you're close to the idea, but not that. Here, I don't understand what is S here. So, again, the first and the second, fantasy, action, thriller, adventure, science fiction, romance, then animated, comedy, superhero, musical, horror, and western. Superhero. Well, you're close, but it's not a superhero. J believes, no, it's not musical. No, it's not musical. E, science fiction. Yep, it's science fiction. The first is science fiction. It is correct. What is the second? Adventure. Again, it's close. So, superhero, adventure, they're very close to the correct answer. We have discussed the name of this film just a minute ago. We discussed it. What is it? Let's listen to it again, probably.
2.
Any idea now? He puts on a hat, climbs his horse, and moves forward. Western, yep, it's a Western story. Usually they have such sounds, really, they are. So, thank you. No, it's not a cartoon, it's not an animated story, not even in 3D. It's Western, right, guys? It's Western stories. Thank you for your attentiveness. Now let's move on. I want you to complete the exercise with the words that mean the name of the genre again. Look here. I believe you can see the sentences now. Let's read the first sentence and choose the correct option here. Ivan enjoys with Steve Martin. He is really funny. The word signal is funny. What is the correct variant here then? If this film is funny, if these films are funny, they are named I'm waiting for your answers still. Comedies, exactly. I will try, kid, just a second. I will try comedies. Probably it will help to make it closer. I'm not sure, but still. I can't do it here. I'm sorry. But then listen to me. I will read the sentences, okay, kid? If you don't mind. I can't make it any bigger. Comedies, correct. Yep. So, Helen, try to write it in English. We also practice the writing skills. I just love films like Sherlock Holmes. Who is Sherlock Holmes? And his helper, his assistant, Dr. Watson. These are two world-famous people who solve some crimes. So, yeah, Kira, you are not right, and Yarek is right again. They're world-famous detectives, Sherlock Holmes and his assistant, Dr. Watson. Yes, Aline, you are right, but try to write in English, please, again. Detectives. Guys, mind the spelling. I have already corrected. Detective has E ending. Please don't forget it. I will write it again. Detective. If I spell it, it's Detective. Detective or detectives. Yep. Sherlock Holmes is the world popular detective. I'll show you his picture later. Then, the third. My friend Igor really likes films about things like aliens and life in the future. Aliens are people from other planets. You know, they have thin bodies, thin and long faces, big eyes, and they can come from other planets. Who are they? Пришельцы, инопланетяне. He likes films about aliens and life in the future. Yarek, you are right, but please mind your spelling. Vlad, it is the correct variant. Please mind your spelling, guys. Science fiction. Look here, it's S-C. It's very important not to skip C. S-C-I-E-N-C-E. Science fiction. Not action, it's fiction, please. Science fiction films. The fourth question is, my sister loves something. She likes films with song and dancing. If they have song and dancing, these films are called what? Yeah, Vladik, musicals. These films are called musicals with songs and dancing. Now, Alin, the variant, both Alinas have the correct answers. Yep, thank you, girls. The last but one sentence here. I love films like Speed with lots of car chases. Lots of cars. They chase or follow each other. Very high speed, you can imagine. A lot of what in these films? Like Taxi, for example, or Taxi 2. Action, Vlad. Yep, right. Action films. If they have speed, if they have a lot of car chases, they are action films. You remember, боевик is an action film. And finally, I like watching films with magical creatures. You know that magical creatures are elves, dragons, unicorns, vampires. They don't exist in reality. They are magical. Merlin is a magical creature. So, what is the name of the genre then? Exactly. They're fantasy films. I'm sorry, I'm going to. Bless me. Thank you. And sorry. We continue. Now you know a lot of film genres. Guys, at home you are to do two tasks. First of all, to learn the words. I will come back. You you will try to learn the name of the genres. I attached the scenario of the lesson to your homework. You have all these exercises. You can repeat them, you can do them again, you can revise the material. Also, On the 10th slide, you have got another task. It is letter writing, so please write a letter and attach it to your home task either in the register or send it to me via WhatsApp, for example. Yeah, finally it is downloaded. Итак, еще разок, ребят, домашнее задание у вас состоит из двух частей. Во-первых, поскольку мы уже перешли к теме фильмов, от темы грамматики перешли к лексике, выучить название жанров. Во-вторых, применить его вот здесь, вот в этом письме, рассказать о своем любимом жанре фильма. Можно на листочке и мне по WhatsApp переслать, можно прямо напечатать и прикрепить к заданию в вашем электронном дневнике, как вам удобнее, проверю в любой позиции. Спасибо, вы были сегодня молодцы, активны на уроке. Стараемся, если речь идет о лексике, писать в чате по-английски. Если это ошибки, не беда, я их исправляю. Если это по-русски, то, к сожалению, это никак нам не помогает письменные навыки тренировать. Поэтому пишем по-английски, общаемся, стараемся по-английски в такие моменты. Лексика – это наш с вами способ разговаривать. Хорошо? So, I hope that you have enjoyed our lesson. I will see you later. And please complete your homework. Have a good day and see you next time. Bye-bye. You're welcome.